Welcome to Smashing UK Productions Top 10 Film Narrations. For this list we're excluding documentaries. Number 10, Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Incredible. One of the worst performances of my career, and they never doubted it for a second.
Starting off our list is the 1980s comedy starring Matthew Broderick as a high school student determined to have a day off school.
A lot of people will tell you that a good phony fever is a deadlock, but you get a nervous mother, you could wind up in a doctor's office. That's worse than school.
As the film opens, Broderick starts off his narration by giving the audience a step-by-step guide on how to skip school. Arguably one of the greatest 4/4 breaks in cinema, Ferris Bueller's Day Off uses the narration from Broderick to deliver some stellar comedy and hilarious quips.
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Number 9, William Holden, Sunset Boulevard.
She'd sit very close to me, and she'd smell of tuberoses, which is not my favorite perfume, not by a long shot.
Sunset Boulevard is a film told in a flashback with a narrative voice from beyond the grave, so right from the get-go we know that the protagonist is already dead. But this aside, nothing has been spoiled and the death is not important. It's the decisions that are made along the way that captures the audience's attention.
The poor dope. He always wanted a pool. Well, in the end, he got himself a pool. Only the price turned out to be a little high.
This use of a ghostly narrator adds to the fatalistic atmosphere of the film, creating an effective film noir murder mystery.
Sometimes as we watched, she'd clutch my arm or my hand, forgetting she was my employer. Just becoming a fan, excited about that actress up there on the screen.
Number 8, Various, Sin City.
The fire, baby. It'll burn us both. There's no place in this world for our kind of fire.
With narrations from Bruce Willis, Mickey Rourke, Clive Owen and Josh Hartnett, Sin City is a neo-noir film that explores the dark and miserable town, Basin City, and the lives of those living in it, caught up in violent corruption.
I'm sorry, kid, but I haven't even started with this creep. And I don't want you watching the rest. It'll give you nightmares.
Unlike the other films on this list, Sin City relies not on just one character's perspective, but the perspective of 4 different characters in an urban hellscape full of corruption, murder and brutality.
There's only one way to beat him. An old man dies. A young woman lives.
Number 7, Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump.
From that day on, we was always together. Jenny and me was like peas and carrots.
Forrest Gump is a simple man with good intentions who delivered some of history's most repeated movie quotes.
Run, Forrest, run!
The audience gets a first-person perspective of the life of Forrest Gump and how fate has brought him to be present at many historic moments. Forrest tries to make sense of everything, and Tom Hanks' stellar performance is the perfect delivery method for the film's hopeful message that anyone can love anyone.
She had got the cancer and died on a Tuesday. I bought her a new hat with little flowers on it.
Number 6, Malcolm McDowell, A Clockwork Orange.
There was me, that is Alex, and my 3 droogs, that is Pete, Georgie, and Dim. And we sat in the Corova milk bar trying to make up our razoo docs what to do with the evening.
In Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, adapted from Anthony Burgess's novel, we find ourselves sympathising with the evil anti-hero who is above all a murderer and a rapist. Whilst Alex is portrayed as a psychopath, we sympathise because he is so witty and as a result are drawn in by him. Alex narrates the story in Nadsat, a fictional language derived from Burgess's novel, and describes his nights of ultraviolence in extreme detail using colloquialisms.
It was like a bird of rarest spun heaven metal, or like silvery wine flowing in a spaceship. Gravity all nonsense now.
Number 5, Leonardo DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street.
My name is Jordan Belfort. Not him. Me. That's right.
Based on the true story of Jordan Belfort, Martin Scorsese's black comedy is a funny and self-referential flick that finds DiCaprio and Scorsese at their most infectiously dynamic.
The real question is this: was all this legal? Absolutely f***ing not.
With one of the funniest and most recognised voiceovers of recent years, DiCaprio's stellar narration allows the audience to view his rise to a wealthy stockbroker living the high life, and the corruption and crime that revolves around his life.
I take Quaaludes 10 to 15 times a day for my back pain, Adderall to stay focused, Xanax to take the edge off, pot to mellow me out, cocaine to wake me back up again, and morphine, well, because it's awesome. More than make them.
Number 4, Kevin Spacey, American Beauty.
It's the weirdest thing. I feel like I've been in a coma for about 20 years, and I'm just now waking up.
Similar to the opening of Sunset Boulevard, American Beauty opens with Spacey as he tells the audience about his impending death. Spacey portrays a suburban father during a midlife crisis after becoming infatuated with his daughter's best friend. The audience is invited to share his thoughts and emotions on the last year of his life. However, the black comedy aspect allows for his imminent demise to be viewed through a more humorous and light-hearted approach.
Or my grandmother's hands, and the way her skin seemed like paper. And the first time I saw my cousin Tony's brand new Firebird.
Number 3, Edward Norton, Fight Club.
Let me tell you a little bit about Tyler Durden. Tyler was a night person. While the rest of us were sleeping, he worked. He had one part-time job as a projectionist.
Edward Norton's character is dead inside. His voiceover alerts the audience that he's still alive, and without it, the majority of the first act would be in complete silence as he stares blankly ahead, mourning his own futile existence. The voiceover is extremely effective, and Norton understands the razor-edged delivery needed to keep the audience on point as he overloads the story with constant narration, representing himself as just another yuppie addicted to IKEA.
The Klipsk personal office unit, the Hovertrack home exerbike, or the Yohanneshav sofa with the string green stripe pattern.
Number 2, Ray Liotta, Goodfellas.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Martin Scorsese's iconic gangster flick based on Nicholas Pileggi's book Wise Guys follows Henry Hill and his friends as they work their way up through the mob hierarchy.
Instead of getting rid of the truck like he was supposed to, he got stoned, went to his girlfriend's, and by the time he woke up, the cops had found the truck.
Ray Liotta stars as Hill, and it is he who narrates the story of his success and his downfall as he is affected by his partner's success. Liotta comes across as being involved in the story as he is describing it, leading the audience through a tale of crime, corruption, and betrayal.
When they found Carbone in the meat truck, he was frozen so stiff it took them 2 days to thaw him out for the autopsy.
Before we reveal our number 1 film, here are some honourable mentions that didn't quite cut the list. Ewan McGregor, Trainspotting.
Choose life, choose a job, choose a career, choose a family, choose a f***ing big television, choose washing machines, cars, compact displays and electrical tin openers.
Gene Shepherd, A Christmas Story.
Only I didn't say fudge. I said the word, the big one, the queen mother of dirty words.
Various, The Thin Red Line.
You get something twisted out of your insides by all this blood, filth, and noise.
Richard Dreyfuss, Stand By Me.
Chris, who had always made the best piece, tried to break it up. He was stabbed in the throat. He died almost instantly.
Christian Bale, American Psycho.
I believe in taking care of myself, in a balanced diet, and a rigorous exercise routine.
Number 1, Morgan Freeman, The Shawshank Redemption.
There must be a con like me in every prison in America. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer, if that's your thing, a bottle of brandy to celebrate your kid's high school graduation, damn near anything within reason.
The voiceover narration in The Shawshank Redemption is such a classic that Morgan Freeman has achieved this kind of legendary status as a narrator.
Andy Dufresne, who crawled through a river of shit and came out clean on the other side.
The film manages to include this voiceover narration without it seeming overly intrusive, and it is clearly being carefully constructed. Freeman's undeniably cool and harmonious voice is the big reason he was cast as not only the President of the United States, but also as God.
I find I'm so excited I can barely sit still or hold a thought in my head. I think it's the excitement only a free man can feel. A free man at the start of a long journey whose conclusion is uncertain.
Thank you for watching. Are there any films we forgot to mention? Leave your opinions in the comments below and be sure to subscribe for new videos every Monday.